What is love? Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me in my What is Love project. 30 days exploring what is not, and whatever is love. Day 28 Humility. How do you feel about the word humility or the act of being humble? Is this word humble or humility, it was a great mystery for me for many years. It is supposed to be one of the greatest virtue according to the Chinese traditional teaching. But what I have learned since childhood was that if you want to be humble, you need to lie. Lie about your ability, lie about your school score. Maybe I misunderstood it, but that was how the act out in my life was showing me. So for example, there was once my mom bumped into my classmate's mother, and they were talking, and then this mother was asking about my grades. And I knew for a fact that my grades were better than her daughter's. But my mom said to her that I was horrible, I never studied, and my grades were really terrible. And so afterward, I said to my mom, why did you say that? It wasn't true. And my mom said, this is, you have to be humble. And also, if we say the truth, people might not like it and they might be jealous. So I used to think that, okay, yeah, we have to be humble, not so much because it was a good thing, because I didn't see it as a good thing that you had to lie, but it was like you have to protect yourself and not show what you can do, because there will be harm, there will be jealousy, and then people won't like you. They will try to beat you up and put you down. So anyway, this concept of humble humility stayed in the back of my head for many years. I had this question, why it was supposed to be a good thing? What part I misunderstood? And why will I put it in this video? Well, it's because many years later, I came across, maybe by chance, or maybe because I was seeking, I came across another meaning. So how it happened was, some years ago, I made a New Year resolution wish. You see, the Western culture had this thing called New Year resolution. I'm still not sure about that word. For Chinese people, on our Chinese New Year, we don't really have like resolution. We make wishes to each other. We make wishes for ourselves. And so one year, I started hearing people say they love everyone. And I thought, that's such a cool thing. And so I made the New Year wish that I'm going to love everyone. And I will give myself a year to see what happens. I didn't really make any expectation for myself, because at the time, I just thought that, okay, it's something really cool. I was really curious about it, and I thought, I'll just make that wish and see what happens. And so what happened was that I think because I put this wish as the focus of the year, now and then it will come up to my mind. And during that year, I noticed that not only I didn't love everyone, I noticed that I disliked quite a few of them. And I even hated some people. And I thought it was very funny. I don't know. I'm glad that I didn't really have that much of an expectation that I have to meet this goal. No, it was a wish. And so I started thinking, okay, how can I love everyone when I kind of dislike a lot of them and hated some of them? And at the time, I thought I knew exactly why I hated them or why I disliked them. Usually because they hurt me. They did something and they wronged me. They hurt my feeling because of their actions or their words. And also sometimes I got upset by people that I don't even know. Like people in the street where I saw that they were doing something bad, they were littering. I didn't like it. So I didn't like these people. Or, people who committed crime, I felt, well, they shouldn't exist. They shouldn't do that. And I didn't like them. And I wonder, how do I like them? How can I ever love these people when I don't even like them? And so I thought, okay, maybe I have to understand something else. And then 1 year passed. And when I was about to make another New Year wish, I thought, okay, what do I do? And I came across a quote. I think it was a Bible quote, but I can't find it now. Maybe it didn't exist, I don't know. But I remember the words very clearly. It says, when you have true humility, nothing anyone can say or do can offend you, because you look at everything and everyone with love. And I thought that was so cool, because that was like a ponta. It's like more solid, because, like love, I can't touch it. But this one, if I just look at whenever someone offend me, whenever I feel offended or hurt, upset, I know I don't love them. And so I do it like a reverse engineer. So I started that year, I made a wish that I will achieve true humility. And so whenever I found that I felt offended, hurt, or any sort of negative feeling that I had towards anyone or situation, I would look at it and see and ask myself why. And I thought, if I'm able to never be offended or hurt anymore, then perhaps that means I got it, that I love. And so it wasn't easy to start with, because I knew, like I said before, I knew why I don't like them. I know why I get offended, because they were wrong. They said something. But then I remember there was this one time, it just happened in that year, that do you ever have a day where everything went wrong, and perhaps you were on the street and someone bumped into your shoulder, and maybe you just felt so angry, and maybe you even cried because a very little thing, okay, maybe it's a big thing, you get hurt physically, and this person didn't stop and say anything, no apology, nothing. And then, have you ever had the same situation happen? The same incident where someone pop at you in the street while you were having a super good day. Do you remember your reaction? So that happened to me. Actually, it was not in a super good day either. I was, at the time, I was having a long distance relationship with my husband. And every time when we had to say goodbye, when I was leaving where he was, I was very sad. And so I was like pulling my trolley suitcase, and I was very sad. I was crying, and then someone hit me, and I continued. And then only like after some time, I looked back and I thought, that man just bumped into my shoulder. It actually hurt, but I didn't feel offended. And it wasn't, and I didn't think it was because I love him. No. And I thought it was perhaps because I was preoccupied by something else. And so I started thinking that, well, maybe whenever I feel offended by people, it wasn't about what they have done. It's really because of what I have done, or my emotional state, or how many upset I have built up inside myself. And I don't know how to explain it more clearly. I think maybe you understand what I'm talking about. And so, how do we see, how do we know what exactly is our own involvement when we feel offended, hurt, annoyed, frustrated, impatient, or any of these things when someone did something or said something? And I want to say that it's not about blame. Okay, maybe someone did something really horrible, very, very horrible. And by not feeling all this emotion, like the not so nice emotion towards these people, it's not so that we endorse their behavior. I think we might never want this behavior to exist, and it's okay. But perhaps we can have some sort of harmony within ourselves to see maybe a bigger picture, that perhaps this person didn't exactly want to do this. Maybe this person doesn't exactly know what they were doing. And honestly, it's not really about these people that I started looking into how to be offended. It's really for myself, because you see, it's so exhausting being offended, feeling hurt. I mean, being frustrated or annoyed is exhausting. It's like I constantly have to build up a wall around me to protect myself. And while love is just nice. I mean, it's a nice feeling, and I believe that love is the most powerful protection. Because when we have love coming from within, and we're surrounded by this love bubble, this love bubble can just go beyond and beyond, enveloping however many people I want to. It's a nice feeling, and they can't harm me anymore because I constantly feel so good. How can everyone or anyone ever be able to harm me? And so there is a way that I like to use. Actually, usually I do it quicker, but now when I would like to show you, maybe you would like to try it. I put one more step so that it's easier. It always will get easier to get the answer when you practice. I mean, like when you do this kind of exercise very often, you kind of know how to go to that relaxed state, the all-knowing state, I would call, because as I mentioned before, we have this internal knowledge, and we just need to figure out how to unlock it. And usually it's very simple. just give an intention to ask a question and to relax to it. Because when we want so much to have the answer, our brain come in, and our brain sometimes might not know that answer that comes from our inner wisdom. So the trick is to relax. And so the trick that we're going to use now is to go back to the heart. So do we do it together? Maybe we can do it together now for a little bit. So let's bring the focus to the heart, the pure love part of the heart. And we imagine that we are breathing through the heart, the actual heart. And you can say to yourself, the pure love part of my heart, would you please let that pure love flow through me, all around me. And then all you do is breathe in for a little bit. You might even imagine seeing your heart glowing, radiating love, maybe some color, maybe pink color, and there might be other color. And then you might now remember someone who have done something or said something that offended you, or maybe not exactly offended you, but someone did something or said something that brought up insecurity or frustration, impatience, even anger, resentment. So have a person or situation coming up, and you ask your heart, the pure love part of your heart, what is my involvement in this situation? What have I done that I feel this feeling towards this person or situation? So maybe you will now receive an answer. Maybe you get a feeling, maybe a knowing. Maybe it's even something completely odd. It's okay. You can analyze it later. Just allow the answer to come. Make no judgment yet. And while you still breathing through your heart, Allow that pure love to wash away maybe some of those not so nice feelings. And maybe then while you have this pure love flowing throughout all of you, you might even begin to feel a bit of warm feeling towards this person or situation, because perhaps this person or situation came to your life simply because they are helping you to understand something about you. And maybe so that you can develop a deep love for yourself through this situation or person. And when you have this deep love for yourself constantly flowing within you, even all around you, nothing anyone can say or do can ever offend you or harm you, because you are love. And when you feel that this is enough now, you got all this pure love flowing within you, even outside of you. If you want to, you can say a thank you to this person or the situation. And remember, you do not need to like what have happened or this person. It's not about endorsing people, what they do. It's more about having an understanding that perhaps this person was also hurt. And so they want to hurt you. But they are hurting everybody. And so you develop the deep love within yourself so you don't get hurt. And maybe some people think that it should always about other people, love other people. I don't know how they do it. This is what I know. I know when I'm kind to myself, when I love myself, when I have that love glowing from within, then I can begin to feel neutral about people. Maybe I can begin to love people. But it's okay. Neutral is good too. Just remember that don't exhaust yourself by feeling offended. It's just not worth it. It's not worth your time. Never blame yourself either. I think we're all just learning here. And it's a really big subject. Love, humility. So maybe just make a wish. Make no expectation. Whatever you want to achieve. I mean, all this ultimate goal of loving everyone, feeling peace and joy all the time, the enlightenment. Make a wish and see what happens. So that's it for today. If you have any questions about this, the way I look at the being offended reason or whatever, if you have any question, please do make a comment. And maybe I'll give you some example of what I have learned over the years about my involvement. So, for example, okay, I used to, like I said, I think last video, I was overweight by 30 pounds. And I used to feel really hurt, offended why these people would say such thing, and I didn't like them. And maybe, I mean, they shouldn't, just weird. But was I offended? And then I learned that it was because that was what I told myself. I was dismissive of myself because of my weight. And so I was actually angry at myself, but it was easier to angry at these other people because I didn't want to be the one who was wrong, but the whole time I was the one who was wrong. I bullied myself. And then there were times when I didn't like the crimes that I came across, how can people do such a thing to harm other people in such a atrocious way. And I felt offended. I didn't like these people to exist. And I learned that it was because I felt insecure. Things had happened in the past, and in the end I had to look at them because it wasn't good for me to walk around feeling danger all the time. It's about the awareness, what I do, but there was this feeling that I had to develop within myself that everything happened the way it's supposed to be, and I just had to be mindful and not daydream, and so it's about taking charge, taking that responsibility of my own involvement in all this situation. It was not about blame. It's just how do I be smarter, or how do I navigate the world? How do I develop that confidence, love? So if you begin to do this kind of exercise and always ask why, what have I done that I feel offended by this person? The answer might be a bit odd, but that is perhaps because we don't actually understand love. And the answer is from the perspective of pure love. So I'm sure you'll understand very easily once you relax into it. once you relax into the pure love. And it's a very, very wonderful feeling. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. See you tomorrow.